Hi, today I'm going to show you how to put together this exploding deluxe chocolate box that I shared a couple of months ago. So I've remade it here with the Love You Always Sweet in Rococo Rose. I'm going to show you how I've put that all together. And then I'm going to supply on my blog post all of the measurements and some templates to show you how they all fit together, so that hopefully that'll make it a bit clearer. Right now I'm just going to show you all the bits and pieces you should end up with to be able to make this box. So that's the Rococo Rose. So I'm going through the measurements for what is the Rococo Rose base on this box. So this bit, this and this, is what's called the base on the template, and you need two pieces. You're going to need this 9.5 by 5.5 scored at 4, and it's 4 on that long edge, and then 4.5 by 5.5, and that is scored on the long edge as well. So as that is basically going to fit together like this. So once you've folded and burnished it, it'll be like this. That'll be at the back, and that's how it fits together as the base. For the sides, you'll have two pieces of black at 11 inches by 7.25, and you're going to score those at 1/2 inch on this long edge, and then 2 3/4 inches on the other three sides. And then what you'll end up doing is cutting this, as you'll be able to see on the template, and you will fold this up. So that is going to end up being the top, and that is the bottom to glue to your base, and then these are the sides. So as these are the sides, you'll end up cutting this at a diagonal. So it's basically like this. So that's like that. And then this diagonal edge here is what we'll cut into there, which you'll see me do in the video. So you need two of those, exactly the same, maybe one on each side. So for the big drawer, which is this bottom drawer here, you need two pieces of card if you're using A4. Well, actually, even if you're using 12 by 12. So they're exactly the same. They're 6 15/16 of an inch by 6 7/16 of an inch. You're going to score it at 1 inch on the shortest side and 1/2 and 1 inch on the longer side. You're going to do that for both of them, and then you cut them as you see in the template video. Then it'll be glued together like that, and these basically fold around to create your sleeve. So they'll fold all the way around there. That'll attach together, and that'll attach together. In the video I'll show how to sort of glue those together around the inside drawer to make them nice and snug. And then when you cut this back, you're basically going to turn that into a box, and that's going to be your back. For your inside drawer, you need, for the big tray, so this is your big tray, the drawer that's going to go into there. This is 7.25 inch by 7.25 inch, scored at 15/16 of an inch, so just under an inch on all sides. And then you're just going to make that into basically the base of the box, and that is what is going to go inside here. So you want to make this tray first, and then once that's been made, you can make a tight snug of gluing these together. For the next drawer up, so that's this little drawer, you're going to do it basically very similar to what we've just done there, but different sizes. So for these sleeves, it's 5 inches by 6 7/8, and then the same measurements of an inch on this long side here. And then for the drawers, the little tray drawer, you're going to have 7.25 by 5 13/16, and do that just under an inch on all sides, 15/16 all the way around. Do exactly the same thing. And then for the little tray at the top, which on here I've got roses in, I'm going to show you in my blog post a few different ways that you can do this. You can sort of have it this little size with various things in that I'll show you, with some Maltesers and different coloured roses. And if you want to do that little box, you're going to make basically another tray. It's 6 and 11/16 of an inch by 5 and 5/16 of an inch, and again just under an inch all the way around, 15/16 of an inch. You're going to make that as the tray, and that just sits on top. I'm also going to show you it filled with Ferrero Rochers, which is a little bit bigger. So for that, I have done the top tray bigger, that I will show you. Do a little insert here, and that is basically doing exactly the same size as this smaller tray on the top. So you end up without this little gap, it'll just be smooth all the way up, and that just makes the tray a little bit bigger to be able to fit different size sweets in it. So you've got different options. And then for the DSP here, that is 5 and 3/8 of an inch by 3 and 7/8 of an inch. And you need 2 of those, 1 for each side. And that is basically all of your cutting and scoring that you need for the box. After that, you just need to see how to put it together, which I'll show you in the rest of the video. Thanks. So these are the sides. They've got 11 inches by 7 1/4 inches, scored at 1/2 inch on one of the long sides, and then 2 3/4 inches on the other 3 sides. And then on this sides of the box, basically for here and here, you need to cut it diagonally. So this is the bottom of the box, and this will be the side. So that is the diagonal you want to cut. So you're going to end up with 2 sheets like this, 1 for each side, and then you can basically get into the additional cutting to make your box. So for these 2 big side pieces, all we need to do is cut the tops to tab in to make them into corners. So I'm going to cut along here. So you can end up with 2 like this. So next up, let's do our big outer drawer, or sleeve as I've called it. I've already been playing with folding this. So you do a little trim on this side and a little trim on this side. And then we're going to tab in here, tab in here, and have a straight edge here, which is the back of the box. So you're not going to see it, but you start it straight, and you're basically going to do exactly the same for the next one. tab that side, tab that side, straight edge there, tab in there, tab in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this onto here, and then we're going to let that dry while we make the insert of the box. So we're only going to glue one side for now. I like to fold it over like that so you can see that you've got a pretty neat edge. So put him over to the side to dry while we make our drawer, which is this, which if you're attempting to make this box, you probably have made some standard boxes before, so a lot of this isn't going to be new to you. I'm going to do a straight edge here, over actually, and straight edge here, and then tab this side and tab in, so tab in this side, and then same on the opposite side. And we're going to make this box, or this bottom of the box. That is our drawer insert. Because this is wet glue and it's quite forgiving. It needs to dry a little bit before it's tacky. I like to glue all four sides quickly and then start with the sides that I glued first. Be a bit tackier and easier to hold together. Everyone's got different techniques. I'm going to try and get straight corners here though. That's the important bit. Checking nothing's gone wiggly anywhere else. So we've got him, so now we're going to bring our sleeve back in. So in terms of what's the front and what's the back of the box, so this sleeve, this is going to be at the back and this is at the front, so you can pull the drawer out. So this is the drawer. The way that I like to do them is have where you can see the tabs on the inside, that at the back, because you're not going to see that really, and this at the front because you're not going to see that, so what you're most likely to see is the side bit. So it doesn't really matter, but that's the neatest way around that I like to do it. So if you turn this upside down, pull this to the side and pull this round, that's where you can really see how you're going to get a tight fit on the box. So we're going to glue this side, glue the drawer round. This isn't going to be attached inside. This is just basically to help keep the shape of your outside drawer and to help you get it as tight as you can. As good as measurements are, well, for me anyway, every time I cut something it's not exactly the same size as the last time I did it. Maybe that's me not being precise enough with my measuring. You can see that's a pretty nice box. Coming in and out okay. Quite happy with that. So then, this is the top of the box. although at this point it's exactly the same all the way around, so it doesn't really matter. But let's say, because I've glued this side last, that's going to be the bottom. What I want to do is fold up this as the inside back of the box, and then I want to put some glue on these tabs to seal up the back. And again, we're going to do it with the drawer inside because it'll give it some firmness and help it keep its shape. And then we're going to glue this onto the back of there. Because I've got that box in there, I've got that firmness to help me do that, keep it nice and straight. Happy days. So that's our bottom drawer, all done. Now basically going to repeat exactly the same steps for the next drawer, so I'm going to speed that up because I don't want you to get bored. Come back and show you what I'm doing. So as you can probably tell, the back of that box is springing up a little bit. So rather than just pushing my tray and squashing that, I've taken that out and I'm pushing the base down with my bond folder instead. Put the tray back in. Get this one a bit snugger. And there's tray number 2 done. So I'm going to give you 2 different options for the top of this box. One is having the tray the same size on top to finish it off, and one is having the tray a little bit smaller inside, as with the other times I've made the boxes. So I'm going to make 2 more trays. One is exactly the same size as this, and one's a little bit smaller based on the measurements I've provided. So at this stage, I've got my options for the top box. I've got my little box and my big box, which is basically all the inside bits. So the next thing to glue is going to be the base. So glue this little thin bit here to a large bit here. Didn't wait for that to dry enough. Looks pretty good, pretty clean. This is the inside of our box. So now what I want to do is, I don't want to glue these down yet, but I want to put them in. Just sort of give it some structure, like the way we were building the drawers and the inserts earlier, for when we do our sides. So at this stage, it's also good to put your DSP on. Put it on afterwards, but it's a lot easier when it's flat. So we'll do that next. You can use liquid glue for this, but I like using tape for paper. This DSP is actually retired, but I wanted something red and shiny and lovely for Valentine's Day. You see my other box where I've used the gorgeous Rococo Rose Love You Always sweet DSP, which goes great with all the pink sweets. Today I'm going to show you it with all the red sweets, and I want it all to be matchy matchy, because that is what I love the most about Stampin' Up, is the matchy matchiness. So that's our DSP, and that's going to be the sides. So what I want to do first is I'm going to glue the base of this onto the base of this, so underneath where those guys are. So I'm going to glue the bottom of this. And so that the bottom of our box is going to be all nice and clean on that side, and we're going to be putting stuff, all our inserts, on top of the inside anyway, so this will get hidden. Put that there, your big box. It's basically going to go like this. Glue your bottom on, and then do the same with the other side. Glue's running out, but it's still coming out strong. So here's the inside of our boxes. So these pieces are going to go up. These come around the side, like so. These can come around and do the same. So you can see how that comes together. So we just need to glue these tabs now. So we're going to glue this side and this side. clumpy bits at the edges, but I do want to get the edges so it's nice and clean. So if you lift these up, push them in. Then you can bring your sides down, line up nicely. Because we've used that liquid glue, we've got that wiggle room for lining up more. I've got nice clean corners this time because I tidied it up when we were doing the cutting earlier. That's looking pretty good there. Stick those in. And then we'll do the other side. So, now that we've got those, let's get to sticking these insides down. So what we want to glue here is the back and the bottom of this box. The back is going to attach to this because this isn't going to fold down. This is going to keep the boxes, hide the back of the boxes at the back to make it look neater. So it's only the front and the sides that actually explode down, like. Slightly close to the edge of it. Right. So now you can put your hand in here as well. I'll put it down. Remember we've got the liquid glue, so we've got some wiggle room, so we want that straight at the back there, and then we want it even on both sides so that it'll fold up good. So that looks good. Pretty happy with that. And then to glue the next box down, I'm going to put my tray back in. Give it some sturdiness again. So here's the next set, and again we're going to do the back and we're going to do the bottom. Gets the back. Take the drawer out to help me with this. You need the bone folder again. Push that down and push that along. You can do as well, get the bottom drawer out. You can squish them together with your hands. Make sure they're stuck down all the way. That's good. So at this point I would stick down the top layer, but instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the sweets that I've got to fill this red box this time to help you decide which size tray you want. So I'm going to stop, put the sweets in because it's going to be noisy, I'll come back and show you. I'm back. I probably should have shown you how to do the ribbon for the drawers first, but we're in it now. We're into the sweets. So I've got 2 fun-size bags of Maltesers in the bottom drawer that fit pretty much perfectly, so I'm pretty happy with them. I've got 4 red Lindor in here, which is what I originally made the box to fit at Christmas. 4. So then it's just about the tops. So for the tops, you can put in the soap roses, which is what I've used in the Rococo box and also at my Christmas box. And they fit in nicely to the smaller box, or you can do it with this bigger tray and you can fit in Ferreros. These are the Raffaello Ferreros that are red and white, so obviously coordinate nicer. So you can do that and that fits all the way up. Or I also found these, since I've got a bit of a Malteser theme going, Maltesers truffles, and they look quite nice as well. So if you don't want soap roses, you just want more chocolate on your top layer, then you've got 2 options there. You can do the smaller size box that leaves this little bit of a gap around the outside and have these Maltesers truffles, or you can use another one of these trays on top and have in those Raffaellos or normal Ferreras as well. All the Ferreras are the same size. So that's the options there. Let's take these chocolate out now and show you how to finish off the box. So what I want to do is get into the ribbon. So I've got 2 ribbon options here for this box. I think I'm going to go with this one, which is the real red stitch ribbon. So what you want is about, you basically stick it to the box here, have a little tab sticking out, and then go all the way back round, which is about 3 inches. So if you do 2 sets of 3 inches, and then that's going to be folded in half. That's going to go on here. There'll be the little tab there. So yeah, 2 3 inches is perfect. And what I found is best for sticking these down is using our mini glue dots. So you need 8 mini glue dots altogether. So if you get one, stick it on the end of your ribbon, and another one about at the quarter of the way up. So if that's half, yeah, about a quarter of the way up. And then you fold that ribbon over like that. So the ends of it are stuck together, but you've got this little loop free at the end that isn't glued down. So you can do that for both. You can still see what I'm doing. Try not to get your finger on it. And then you're basically going to put glue dots again in the same 2 places on the outside. So at the bottom, and then a little bit up. Go a little bit higher than that, but there you go. The inside of the box is basically just under 1 inch, so if you want to measure it that way, that's probably what you're going for, but this will work as well. So then I want to find the middle of my box, so I find using grid paper helps a lot with that. So if I got 8, another inch, another inch, another inch, not quite, 3/4. So that line is then my middle. I can basically just eyeball it from there, not be too particular about it. And then close that drawer. I can then eyeball this again. Got that. So put this back in. You can line these drawers again if you want. There's some red velvet that I lined drawers with at Christmas. It was really nice. It's coming back, but it's not coming back to the winter catalogue. But if you've bought some already, you can obviously use that, or you can use some more DSP. And line the bottoms if you wanted to. Put the Maltesers back in. So if you just push on the bottom like this, that'll straighten your drawers out. See, those tabs work and those drawers are nice and snug. So, next, top box. Which top box am I going to go for? I think I'm going to go for the Maltesers, you know. I'm going for my Maltesers, and I'm going to be lazy and not even going to take them out. The glue is starting to dry up on me then, because I didn't put the lid on. I'm probably going to have to take the Maltesers out to push this down at the first. But whatever. So we want to line this up before we put it down. And what I haven't done is I haven't glued the back of that, have I? Glue the back as well. So all the way back. So take this drawer out. Use my bone folder again to push up against this. There we go, that's all good. Lovely. Tap it a bit roughly. Some of these are a little bit more bendy than the others, so I think I'll put them in the middle. The ruffles do fit, they're just scrunchy on the top. Might be another reason for the ruffles to win. Anyway, so at this point in the box, it's just additional decoration. So for the outside, well, I've liked to keep it really plain and just add a load of ribbon to tie it together. For the inside, I've kept it plain and put DSP here, but you could put sentiments on like I did with the other box at Christmas. I'll show you pictures of in my blog post. And then I also put some decoration here as well. But yeah, that's dealer's choice really. There's this ribbon. So for measuring how much ribbon you need around the box, I tend to unreel a load of it, because you're going to need a fair bit. Work out a bit of ribbon, and then we're basically going to need it all the way under, all the way round again, all the way back up, and then another go. that's approximately how much ribbon I'd want. And then you can tidy it up a little bit more. So you're going to straighten it out a bit at the bottom. Once you've got your 4 corners in and they're all pretty much straight, you can then tie a bow, which I'm going to attempt to do now, but it does take me quite the faff, to be honest. So I recommend leaving the ribbon till the very end, until you're not going to open it again, only the recipient is, because it is a bit of a faff. So you want it square on all the sides, and you want it to cover a bit at the top. There you go, like that. And then the challenge is actually tying the ribbon and tying it tight enough that that doesn't all loosen up again and lose your spot. There we go, he's popped out back and pull him back around. And yeah, you can fiddle with it a bit more, make it a bit better. Cut your ends off. But there we go, another version of my Deluxe exploding chocolate box, which with these Maltesers in it, yep, it does explode. Nice for Valentine's Day, nice for any time really. Hope you like it, and I hope this video has given you enough instructions for how to put it together yourself. Check out my blog post for all the measurements, template, and also other pictures of the same box I've made with different designs. Thanks, bye.